Okay, right then. Well, it's funny, really. I'm looking, and one of the people specifically asked about working on four corners. Isn't that actually here? All right, but yeah, we started looking at it a little bit last week, and we're going to work on it in a bit more detail today. So what I've been doing is obviously recording these and uploading them, as I said to you, to YouTube. And I couldn't get it to work. Although I tried putting your emails in so only you could see it, it didn't seem to let everybody do that. So I've had to make it open. So anybody who clicks on the list can see it. But after the 20th, after next week, I'll take them all off and I'll make them secure. So if you do want it, just you can click on them and download them. If anybody uses YouTube, you can download off YouTube if you want to keep them. But otherwise, hopefully next week, the world's opening up in terms of classes going back. So all the classes are opening face to face. The Bourneville or Bromsgrove on Monday, or Tamworth and Lichfield. They're all on the website, all opening up again. So hopefully we'll be able to get back and see people live again, which would be quite nice. I'm guessing it would be quite nice, Lynn and John, to be able to see people face to face. Yay! I'm not saying we have to, although it's all been on the news about hugging each other. I don't mean we all have to go in and group hug the classes. But certainly seeing people. I know once we started the park classes back again, it's been so nice interacting with people again rather than just on the screen. It's seeing a human in flesh, 2 meters away, but it doesn't matter, they're still there. It's been very nice. So I'm looking forward to that starting back next week. And in terms of the Sunday sessions, I did mention we're not going to do one in May because it's a bit close. But June, I'm planning to do Sunday in June in Bourneville, because by then everybody will be vaccinated, would have gone through the next step, and the weather should be good, hopefully, so we can be outside anyway if we want to. Yeah, we're going to do one in June in Bourneville on a Sunday morning, which is really nice. Jenny and I are off to Cornwall in the morning. We're just going for a long weekend. I know it looks like it's going to rain, but who cares? You know, you're on holiday, it doesn't matter.
Will you email that to us, Mark?
Hang on a second. What did you say, Isabel?
Will you email the dates regarding June? What?
Oh, God, do that again. Your microphone went up and down.
Will you let us know the dates in June?
Yes,
yeah.
It's on the timing website. So if you click on the timing, and you'll see in the top right-hand corner that it's Sunday in June. And so we're going to do that in June. We may put one in July. I'm not sure yet. Depends what people do. But then there won't be one in September, and then there's a weekend in October, which will be the 2nd and 3rd. But those are on the climbing website already. I will adjust the content, what the weekend will be, but the dates are on there. June will be June the 13th, 9:30 till 12:30, so 3 hours. And in October, I'm looking at my year planner behind my computer. October will be Saturday the 2nd and Sunday the 3rd. We may add one in July, not really sure yet, but that's where we are at the moment. June, and then the weekend in October. There's also one in September. September is Sunday the 5th. Sunday the 5th of September.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Good.
So what I'll do is I'll just turn everyone's microphones off. Remember, you should see a speaker view, so one large picture. If you're seeing a lot of small pictures, I think these are small pictures, then you've got it on gallery view, and that's up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. You can click gallery view or speaker view, which allows you to switch between all of us, or whoever the speaker is, and the speaker is me today. There you go. Right ahead. Oh, switch camera. Yes, it was lovely in the park. It was supposed to rain, but it didn't, which is really nice. Okay. Only water today. Beer was a special treat last week. It's a bounce. Gold is nice and loose. turn. I couldn't live stream from the park this morning. Zoom updated itself and wiped out all the meetings. I didn't know, I was gonna have to send you a message tonight with a new login, but I managed to restore it, so it was okay. I don't know what it did, updated itself, wiped out all my appointments today. Up, extend, release, turn. Pull, number 2. Shoulders relaxed, change turn, change turn. Compress. As I said for my own training, I usually practice these exercises myself for about 10-15 minutes before I practice my form. And I usually choose one particular one of the 5 to work on each time. Again, because of this one is compression, how you compress and move into each posture. Expand out of that posture. The one before, about creating torque in your form, in your postures, and your movements. The one before that, about segmentation. So number 1 about segmentation. You kind of chain reaction through your body in your practice. You can go quickly or slowly. Depends on what you're paying attention to. If you're paying attention to feeling, then you can really slow it down. Feel that compression. You're paying attention to the looseness, you speed up. It's the same as practicing your form. You can do the whole 37-step form in about 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, or 40 minutes, and anywhere in between. The average comfortable speed is about 8 minutes. Okay, number 4, little drop. This one's to mobilize your spine. Hands together, push out, bend your knees, swing through. From side to side. Rolling the shoulders. Knees forwards, curl up. And round. Hands together, push, bend your knees, swing through. Side to side. Roll the shoulders. Knees forwards, curl up. Give your body a shake. Number 5, turn the vertical circle, under up, under up, up. So the aim of this vertical circle is that you're drawing this circle in the body movement under up, under up, under up. So if something pushes you, you move along, drop down, come up the back leg, forwards, underneath, up, back, underneath, up, forwards, underneath, up, back. Exaggerate it, underneath, up, forwards. Drop, catch yourself in the front leg, underneath, up, back. It would mean if someone's pushing you, you catch them into your body, releasing to the front leg, drop down to the back leg, as that compresses you and you expand up, coming forwards, like in roll back. The same as someone's pushing you, you drop underneath, land in the front leg, come underneath and up. If you want to move forwards, if someone's pushing pressure against you, if you want to move forwards, you can't move forwards. You release your body weight down, which lands in the front leg, comes underneath and comes up. And up. That's 6 times, and then heel and toe. And turn. Underneath and up. When we get back face to face, it'd be much easier to feel the experience of pushing and then applying it in your form. But think here, as I fall off that leg, I load into the front leg and come up. As I move backwards, I drop into the back leg, come underneath it up. So if I'm doing double push, I don't push off the front leg, I fall off the front leg, into the front leg and up. I'm doing roll back, and I move backwards, I drop it into the back leg, underneath and up. It comes forwards. So think about when you push. If I'm pushing, I'm not pushing off the back leg, I'm releasing into the front leg and coming under and up. If I do roll back, I'm not sitting backwards. I'm taking that pressure into my front leg, releasing into my back leg, underneath and up. So I'm expanding up and out. Turn, underneath and up. Roll back, underneath and up. Underneath and up. Heel and toe. Turn. Underneath and up. If you imagine someone's pushing against you, trying to push you backwards, rather than trying to fight them, you release that down to the front leg, release under the back leg and up. So they're pushing you and you'll push them up off their own feet. Then if you want to come forwards against the resistance, You move up to hit the stop, you release the weight down into the front leg, come underneath and up. Release the back leg, underneath and up. Front leg, underneath and up. Heel and toe. Down, underneath and up. You can imagine going forward off left, up, roll back, press, push, up, up, heel and toe. Back to the center. Okay. If you pick one of the 5 exercises, really get that feeling strongly in your body. So you focus on the segmentation and chain reaction through your body, the torque, as you turn from posture to posture, the compression, the spine mobilizing, the vertical circle, the heel and toe movement in the vertical circle, that number 5 exercise. Just choose one of them, do it for a few minutes to really integrate it. Visualize yourself practicing the form, integrating that feeling, then go through the form. Even if you do just the first section or just the second section, just a few moves, 17 moves or so, to really integrate that movement into your Tai Chi. So it becomes more three-dimensional, more whole body mind connection. Nice. Before we move on, I just want to check everybody. Right. You're feeling comfortable or getting more familiar with the movements for these 5 exercises? I know, Bob, you asked me about some names for the other 2. I just want to make sure you're all doing okay, because it's such a lot just in those 5 movements, those 5 exercises, that when you take those and put them in the form, it's the same as if you practice Peng Liu Ji and Chai Liu Jiu Kao. If you practice ward off, roll back, press, push, pull down, split elbow and shoulder. If you practice those 8 movements, and then look for all 8 in any posture of the form, all 8 of those are in every single posture, every single movement of the form. This all enables us to look through different eyes, I guess. So if you practice Peng ward off, practice get that sense of expansion and ward off, look at that for the movements. If you practice loop, roll back, look for roll in all your movements. Even if you're doing ward off, roll backs in there. Ward off, roll back, press, how press. Press is more of a compression, push is more of an expansion. Play with those feelings. Split, elbow, shoulder. Play with the different movements and then look for them in the form. It all brings more life to the postures. Okay, I'm just going to go to the form now. Take you back to the main camera.
Can I just ask Mark on the last exercise? You know, the one coming sort of under the angle of the back foot.
Okay. Ideally, it's going to be straight and 90 degrees. Ideally.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might find it a little bit difficult, so you might want to adjust it in slightly. Ideally, 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. You may find it's a bit difficult on your hip, so then you want to turn it in slightly so you get more comfortable. But the aim is to get used to opening your hips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And the same thing, look, the wonderful thing about learning is the best way we learn anything is we learn by contrast. So just because I said do it one way, don't just try and replicate that way. You know, play with it, think, okay, well, if I'm going to stand with my feet there and turn that 90 degrees and do this, what does it feel like? Do I feel my knees collapsing? Collapse my knee on purpose, open my hip out, adjust the foot slightly, play around with it lots of different ways.
Yeah. So
you get a good body feeling, good body connection. Because that's how we learn. We learn anything. We learn best by contrast, by comparison. There's no point keep saying in Tai Chi, relax. Well, if you don't say relax compared to what? We don't do the contrast. Don't try tension, don't try release, don't try relax, don't try slouching. And if you practice all the variances, then you can't calibrate to what relax means. You know, this song, it's relaxed and alive. Yes, thanks for asking that, Isabel. Please do try different ways.
Yeah, because you can feel that when you go forward, you know, when you're coming like up and under, you can
Yes.
can feel the weight transfer on the back leg. It sort of comes up, then it comes back again slightly, doesn't it?
Yes, 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 yes.
That's right.
It's absolutely right.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and yet you have to feel that to know whether you're just doing a shape or whether you're integrating the feeling in your body. And
Yeah.
when you get that, then you put it under load slightly. You know, you might carry a box or do your form practice so that you can challenge that feeling to see how good it is in your body. And once you've got it right, look, Tai Chi, and I've said this phrase lots of times to lots of people, Tai Chi is a musculoskeletal rehabilitation system, which means it's designed to function as you're designed to function. It doesn't matter whether you call it Chi or anything else, it doesn't matter. It's designed to function as humans are designed to function. So if it feels comfortable and generates the correct kind of power, you're doing it correctly. If it feels like you have to stiff or tense, you're not doing it quite correctly. If it feels painful or uncomfortable, you're not doing it correctly. It's your body. We've all got the same skeletal system. We've all got ligaments and tendons. We've all got this fascia holding everything together. Everyone's got ranges of movement, but you have to play with it to make it alive. Otherwise, it's just an empty dance. It's lovely to do, but it doesn't integrate into your life. So yeah, the more you feel it, the better it is. The more you adjust it, the more you notice it, the more real it becomes. And then you can see, when you see people doing Tai Chi, you think, well, yeah, they're doing a lovely pattern, but they haven't got it. Oh yeah, they're really connecting themselves because you can see it, you can notice it. All right, that's good. Okay. Oops. Here we go. Okay. Make sure I've got this. Yeah. Let's go to the form, and we're going to work on. We're going to go up to 4 corners, do 4 corners, and then we're going to go back and practice 4 corners. Okay. The heels together, shoulders relaxed. Suspended from above. Sink and open. Turn. Preparation. Beginning, push, release, catch. Push from your feet, expand. Release. One off left, weight in the left leg, turn and hold the ball. Change through, open, step forwards. Open underneath, and turn. One off right, underneath, and up. Expand, roll back, underneath. And you can expand forwards as you roll. Underneath and up as you press. Move away from your hands. Elbows relax, underneath and up as you push. Single whip. Release around. Move away from your hands down. Open. Open. Lift hands. Draw in, down. Shoulder. Wide crown spreads wings. Brushing twist step, open. Step up. Slow guitar. Brushing twist step, open. Deflect down, parry and punch. Bear. In. Parry. Punch. Front close up. And up, push. And up. Cross hands. 50-50. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Roll back. And up, press. Separate. Push. Diagonal single whip. Then move over slightly. Wrist under elbow. Step 1, 2, 3. Pulse monkey open. Turn. Step back. Move away from your hand, straighten your front foot. Second one, pulse monkey, turn. Back. Move away from your hands. Third. And up. Diagonal flying. And cloud hands. In. Step. Single whip. Step creeps down, open, in the toe, and drop, straighten the foot, through, in, and up. Step back, and up. First toe kick, body weight forwards. Sit back, roll back, under up, away from your hands. Toe in, heel in, press, separate and kick. Diagonal, move away from your hand, under up, roll back, toe in, heel in, separate. Heel behind, turn, separate, heel kick, brush knee twister. Second brush knee twister. Low punch. Step through, wood up right, roll back, expand, press, push, single whip. All corners, move away from your left hand, turn, bring your right turn, so left toe in, turn. Step across, right foot, step to the corner, left foot, under, up and through. Second corner, sit back to your right foot, turn your left toe all the way in, just as far as you can, turn, step through and open, under, up, sit back, hold the ball, step across, right foot. Step to the corner, left foot. And back, bring your right toe all the way around, so left all the way around. Step through to the corner. Through. Okay. And the key part, as I said from last week, is when you're turning to make sure that you get the foot placement correct. Because if I'm going from single whip, I need to be able to get that foot far enough around that when I change and when I turn, it's easy to step with that foot because this is all the setup. Otherwise, I'll get a lot of twist in my knee. So that's the setup which enables me then to move to the corner. When I do the next corner, the left foot's got to turn past 90. And if you can't, if you feel, because you're going to need to turn around as far as is comfortable, in and open. And if it's not past 90, what you end up doing is kind of standing on a bit of a tightrope or twisting your knee. So the best thing to do is if you can't get around that range of movement, add a bit of an extra turn in. If I'm here, and if I'm here, the corner, and I want to do the next corner, I turn, let's just say I can get, I don't know, 45 degrees. And I turn and step. I can get around to 45 degrees. I can turn with that foot and turn it some more. And add an extra opportunity in there. So here, sit back, maybe it only goes 45 degrees. Transfer, I can then turn my right foot which will then give me more range of movement in my left hip. Now I can step through comfortably and turn. So all the time you should be setting your body up. Ideally, you'll get all the way around in one go, but that's down to your range of movement in your hips and correct foot positioning. So if you're here, you're 45 degrees. I'll stand straight onto the camera so you can see. If I'm shoulder width here, if I turn and I can only get halfway around, I can't get all the way around, I can only get halfway around. Then there's not enough range in my hips to get over. I need to turn that foot and turn that foot some more. So now I can get around. And it is again, play with it until it's comfortable. As long as you're separating yin and yang, as long as you understand which is substantial and which is not. So if I'm here, that's substantial, that's yang, this is yin. When I turn, that's yang, this is yin. Now for me to be able to do it, I need to release his foot. So this is completely yin now and empty, and I can adjust it. And I make that full again, and I make this empty so I can adjust it. So I'm not turning on a weighted foot. I'm always making sure, and I'm not trying to sneak an extra twist in. I'm making sure that I'm separating full and empty. As long as you separate full and empty, you'll be able to get the movement, get all the way around. And I'm mentioning this for everybody really, but especially for Bob, because they're around your hips and your knees, to make sure that you don't put undue strain on them. Because remember, Tai Chi should cause no harm, no injury. Bad movement causes harm and injury. Wear and tear causes harm and injury. Tai Chi is about retraining your body. So if I'm in, let's say I'm in my kitchen to have my tea, then I need to be able to turn around here. I need to make sure that I've turned that correctly so I can step. If I can't get around completely, I need to turn it some more so I can step again. If I learn to position my hips correctly and my body correctly, then I can move through great angles without any strain. If I try and just twist, you can see if I just try and twist, then straight away the foot and the ankle will go over and there'll be damage. That can be a slow, long-term damage, slowly wearing away, like a mortise and pestle, slowly wearing away. And the sooner we build a habit of aligning correctly, taking the time, that improves our proprioception, our feedback through our body, which tells us where the muscles are, where the connections are, where the tone is, what's happening. As long as you're constantly calibrating, you'll keep tuning and it becomes more automatic. But when you do mindful practice, which is what Tai Chi is, the mindful practice helps you tune it. And just for angles to the camera, if I'm going to go to full corners and I turn, my right foot is going to go around as far as is comfortable. If that's only there, so that's not all the way it needs to be, just there. I know I'm not going to get all the way around, because if I try and turn all the way around now, when I step, my knee will collapse in because my knee wants to go that way, so my foot should be that way. My foot can't be the right angle. You can see, well, here, my knee wants to go that way. That's where I need to be, hip and knee, but my foot's still that way, so I needed to make sure I turn my foot first, so the foot and knee are lined up. And the best way to do it is try it out. Don't injure yourself, but turn. If I to get that angle, my knee wants to go further. If my knee wants to be there, my foot should be underneath it. If my knee wants to be there, if that's the correct alignment, my knee wants to be there, then the foot should be there to be underneath it. And try it when you go around, when you're doing full corners and you're turning. All the time, you should be moving hip, knee, and foot. If you turn and you're trying to step, and my knee wants to be over there, but my foot wants to be over there, two things to notice. If my knee wants to be there, but my foot's there, two things. One, well, three if you count the angle, but one, am I opening my hip as much as possible? So is it open or is it tense? Where should my foot be? So adjust your foot, open your hip. And play around with it, twist your hip a bit, adjust your foot, open your hip, and they'll all line up again. And then when you play with that, the only thing that should be working is a muscle. So your thigh and your calf are doing all the work because your hip is open and all the load's in there. If you're getting any side load, it's because either your hip isn't open enough, you haven't got the range of movement, or there's tension, or your foot isn't far enough around, so you're trying to put the torque somewhere else. Adjust your knee, adjust your foot, open your knee, play with the feeling. Okay, just going to get on. Can you see okay when I do that? Because it's sometimes hard because I realise I've got dark trousers on and dark socks. But hopefully you can see okay. It's important to check the angles because four corners is the biggest, in the form, it's the largest movement, demanding the largest movement. And that's why it's towards the end, because by then you've been practicing for a good while and you're getting used to movement and more used to your body awareness, more used to connecting, more used to your balance. By the time you get to it, you go, no, I can't do that yet. I need to make some more adjustments. Otherwise, we're just rushing through. I want you to play with it. I want you to do four corners. Just even if you do two, the second corner, third corner, just do a couple of them and get a feeling of where your foot needs to be, how open your hip needs to be. If you need to make an extra adjustment to be able to get around. Okay. If I'm going to do four corners. Might need to put an extra turn in there. A turn, but because my hip's not really big good today, I'll put an extra turn in there. And that enables me to get all the way around. And sometimes there's enough range of movement and it's absolutely fine. I can move quite comfortably. There's no rotation in my knees, no rotation in my hips. The hips are that knee in line with my foot, so I can comfortably move through the second corner. I can open enough so that knee's in line, that knee's in line. When I come through and turn, reach all the width. I'm not on a tight rope. So if you look at the posters or the pictures that you're mentioning in that show you the foot positions, books like Stuart McFarlane's book and Stuart McFarlane's Tai Chi book's got all the foot positions in. The Chen Ching and Robert Smith book has got like a fold-out map at the back, like a dance pattern map, so you can see the foot angles and all the foot positions. You can see they're always shoulder width and pretty much straight and 45 degrees-ish. Doesn't matter what angle you're at, they're always pretty much the same. You can start to notice that. Okay. So how are we getting on with single whip? Sorry, how are we getting on with four corners? Are you getting around okay? Hips are okay? You're getting the under up compression into the legs, under up compression. Okay. I'm having to trust it because obviously I can only see waist height in everybody, so I'm trusting you're all doing a fine job. Okay. And in terms of the hands, it's kind of as if almost as if you're moving under your arm. You know, like whether you want to imagine you've got one of those big Chinese hats on, like in Big Trouble in Little China, something like that. You're coming up and you're moving under. So it's not like in karate, for example, they do like a rising block and then a strike. In Tai Chi, it's a bit like that, but it's not. This is not a block. This is a kind of more like a dance, really. You want to go, oh, okay, I can get under there. So you just, something comes in and you make contact with it and it rolls, and you want to be able to roll underneath it. Think of it, the top hand is not that you're blocking and striking, because that's not how Tai Chi works. What you want to do is allow that to roll past. If I exaggerated it, if something's coming in, allow that to roll past and I can walk underneath it. When you get that feeling, be able to walk underneath your arm, that feeling, then that movement here, boom. You can practice it, you can go, okay, well, I'll move into my arm and I'll walk under my arm. I'll move into my arm, walk under my arm. Shoulder relaxed, into my arm, bend my knees, walk under. into my arm underneath. When you've got that feeling of arm up, underneath, hand up, you down, hand up, shoulder relax, you down. In four corners is that feeling up and under, up and under, up and under, up and under. This is nice and soft, like you're going. You move in. If you imagine someone's here, if you've gone down, underneath, and up, down, underneath, and up, down, underneath, and off they go. Because that lifting is deflecting, also uprooting. Whereas you're doing down, underneath, and up, it's rolled over the top, but you're also uprooting, underneath and up, underneath and up. So you're uprooting the other person, and this one's just going to tip them over nicely. Tip them over nicely. That could be rude not to push them. They're falling anyway. Underneath, push. Underneath and underneath and push. The elbow, shoulder all opens and rolls. And my nose, elbow, shoulder all opens and rolls as I move in underneath, in underneath, in underneath. So in terms of distance, let's get the angle right. Your hand is kind of just in front of the elbow, and it's kind of just in front of the elbow. This is here, up. Get the angle so you can see it's just in front. Underneath, up, round, up, just in front. Nice and relaxed. Always that Chemanching, fair lady's hand, nice and soft, nice and gentle. But you couldn't kill a fly. So gentle, so relaxed. Okay, get on. So Bob, if you kind of lead with your hand more, if I exaggerated it, if I was going to go around and here and turn, I think, okay, well, I'll move, throw my arm out and move my body towards it. You think, okay, I'll put my arm out, move my body towards it. So I'm doing four corners. Arm out, move my body in. I raise from my arms, underneath, arm out, move my body in. Otherwise, it gets very tempted to get quite small like this. Max. Luckily, there's lots of videos of Chemanching on YouTube. Back in the 80s and 90s when I was learning, you couldn't see that stuff, but it's all available. You can see him moving, you can see how loose and light he is. You can see how he's moving in through his shoulders. And all the time you are doing roll back, you are doing the 5 loosening exercises under and up, you are expanding, you are creating the torque, you are creating the compression. Okay, looking good, looking good. That's it. Move away from my hand, turn in. Nice open round shape. Move to the corner. Hand in, move my body through. Move away from my arms. and in, move your body through, move away from my arms, step in towards my arms, up and through, move away from my arms, underneath. So it's quite an open feeling. It's more like you're going, hi there, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm just going to come over here, like and have a little dance. So come over, a little dance. Body in, up, body out, roll back. Four corners, up, in, and then move it away. Put my arm there, move my body in, and move away from my arm. Put body in, move away from my arm. In, out. First corner in, out. Second corner in, out. Third corner in, out. Fourth corner in, out. In, out. So you're moving towards your arms, away from your arms. Towards your arms, away from your arms. Kind of like you're dancing. Towards your arms, away from your arms. Sit back, turn. In, step. Corner, as you move out, your arm goes out with your foot, move into towards you. Move away from your arms, around. In. Change weight, arm goes out with your leg, move in. Sit back. Step. Arm goes out with your leg, move in. Back. And up. Okay, from the fourth corner, just release, step through one up left, right, roll back, press, snake creeps down. Step up, 7 stars. Okay. So from the fourth corner, drop your weight into completely. So you've got maybe 70-30. Completely drop your weight into your right leg and turn. Step out left foot, under up, one off left. Release, one off right. Release, roll back, extend. Press. Push. Whip. Snake creeps down. Step up. 7 stars. Step back. Wide tiger. The main difference between white crown spreads wings and rider tiger is white crown spreads wings is an expansive movement, whereas rider tiger is an compressive movement. You want hit, hit. So if you're doing white crane, you're opening. If you're doing rider tiger, you're stepping back and pulling in and in. It's more like you're pulling in. White crane is opening out. Rider tiger is in. Okay. Step up, 7 stars. Step back, separate, bring your left toe in, your right toe in, and pull. Like it, around the back of the neck. In. Have you ever seen people doing Aikido when they take them around this way, take them back that way? quite similar to that. You lead, someone comes in, you're leading them in, you take them around, boom, in. Up, back, in. Pulling in. Fourth corner, under up. Open the hips. Through, wall off left. Release, open. Under up, wall off right. Roll back. Press. Push. Whip. Sinking nice and comfortably down. You can step wider and longer. Open. In. Down. Through. Step through 7 stars. Step back. In. In, ride the tiger. Okay. So here, oops. Through, straight at the foot. Up 7 stars. Back in. Pull in. Ride the tiger. Okay. See you getting on. So when you're doing it, as you imagine you're coming through and you're going to parry and hit. It's not, I know 7 stars is like double block and a kick. But you think of it as a coming through to get more of the feeling. A bit similar to 4 corners, underneath and through, underneath, rising block, underneath and through. So many punches, you come through, up. If they're trying to hit down onto the cross of your arms, go, okay, there's my pretending block. You whack away. As they hit back, you go, oh, there we go. I'll just lead you in and take you down. It comes in, give an appearance of blocking, and as that strike hits, I take it, pull it down, take body at the head. Once you think, well, 4 corners is this, 4 corners is this, 7 stars is this. It's the same movement. I'm not doing a double block. Karate is really good at that. Tai Chi is crap at it. I'm not doing a double block. I'm coming up and through 7 stars. How about you think up, hurricane, up and through, grab, take, pull, take, strike. Okay. Then what we do is, Tai Chi as a martial art works on almost like a spinning wheel. So anything that happens to you makes you spin, anything that grabs you falls over, anything that hits you slides off. So you think to do that, I need to make sure that that's not a block. That's like a leading movement, it hasn't come through. And if it ends up being a kind of block, then it should be leading into a grab. So there's a hand in there, I get their arm, pull it down. Up, take it back in, and strike. So I've got the arm here, the head here, throw. We're gradually building all the under up and the compression and the torque. So here, I'm coming 7 stars, I'm coming through underneath and up. So I'm lifting the other person up. So as they're coming in, they're going to go up. I'm lifting them up, uprooting them, grabbing, pulling them in and down. They're compressing their back leg and underneath and up. So they're not going to go backwards, they're going to come in and crumble over because I'm doing a surgical circle this way. In. So they're coming in here. I'm going to come in and underneath and up, lifting underneath them and up. Maybe grab, pull in and down, underneath and up. So they're going to go and pull them in and down, get the head through. This is to demonstrate it if we've got a body here. Oh, so looking forward to seeing people again. Not maiming people, that is optional, but so looking forward to being able to interact and get a sense of connection. The Zoom is fabulous, but it means that you've got to get the experience in your own head and in your own body. You can't test it or show it. Okay. So how are we going? You're doing okay? You get more of a three-dimensional feel. The more you practice putting the 5 loosening exercises, let me just switch on. I'm talking to the camera from a right angle. Okay. The more you practice putting the loosening exercises and realize that things like 4 corners has got under up, and then 7 stars has got under up. The more you notice that each of these movements is vertical circles, compression, the torque, even here. This is, if I said this torque here, 7 stars, I come up, and the torque is in the waist here. Up, open, in, pull. So all the 5 loosening exercises all the way through. What I suggest is take a movement that maybe feels a little bit stiff or you're not as comfortable and familiar with because it doesn't get repeated so many times, like 7 stars or right tying or 4 corners. Pick a loosening exercise, get a feel for it in your body, and slow down the movement and look for it all the way through, because it's all the way through every posture. And then that puts more life to it. So when we're all back together again, you can go, oh, show me this test of that. How does that work? What's that feel like? All right then. Okay, we're at that time again, 7:30. Any questions before we close off today? I mean, next week we'll finish the form off, and you guys will be back at class hopefully, and then we'll see you all very soon. But any questions? Are you comfortable what we're working through? Everybody okay? Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you all. All right then. Well, I'll see you all next week. It will be here again. I won't be in Cornwall that long. I'm only just going for a long weekend to sort some stuff out. I'll see you back here next week. Thank you all, everybody. Okay. See you, Georgina. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cheers, Mark. Cheers.
Oh, cheers, beers. I'll go in and get one now.
Cheers.